Caitlin Clark all night tonight.
Are you talking about my high school experience? Clark connects. Here comes Clark in transition. Clark, pull up three. You bet!
What if I told you the most talked about athlete in women's sports wasn't just making history, she was changing the future of the game? From logo threes to laser-sharp dimes, Caitlin Clark's rookie season in the WNBA has turned heads, shattered records, and sparked a movement. But just when everything seemed unstoppable, something happened that no one saw coming. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA, she detonated into it. Drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever in 2024, Clark arrived with a resume of dominance and expectations so high they seemed impossible to meet. Yet game after game, assist after assist, logo three after logo three, she shattered every ceiling placed above her. Her rookie year wasn't just about stats, it was about sparking a cultural shift in how people see women's basketball. From her very first game, Caitlin Clark made one thing clear. She was built for the big stage, averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. Clark didn't just lead all rookies, she led the entire league in assists. She also broke the WNBA's single-season rookie assist record with 337 total dimes. And she wasn't done. On July 17, 2024, against the Dallas Wings, Clark recorded a jaw-dropping 19 assists in a single game, the most ever in WNBA history. She became the first rookie to log 2 triple-doubles in a season, and her 122 three-pointers set a new record for rookies. Simply put, it was a season for the history books. With Clark came an unprecedented surge in WNBA attention. Her regular season debut against the Connecticut Sun drew the league's biggest TV audience in over 2 decades. Fever games, once sparsely attended, became sold-out events, with fans traveling from all over the country just to witness her in action. When Clark played Angel Reese, another NCAA standout turned pro, their matchup drew over 3 million viewers, breaking all kinds of viewership records and putting the WNBA firmly in the cultural spotlight. The Caitlin Clark effect was real, and the league was thriving because of it. While her deep-range threes went viral on social media, Clark's real artistry came from her passing. She'd whip no-look dimes in transition, laser bounce passes through traffic, and wrap-around feeds that seemed to defy physics. Her court vision bordered on clairvoyant. And yet, it was the consistency that stunned analysts most. Every game she delivered. Her assist-to-turnover ratio remained one of the best in the league. Coaches called her a floor general. Teammates called her a leader. Opponents, they called her a nightmare. Clark wasn't just transforming the stat sheet, she was shifting the culture. Jerseys flew off the shelves. Young players mimicked her step-back threes. Social media lit up with her highlights. Celebrities tweeted about her.
One word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast. She is the truth. And I mean, she's the truth, and she was a rookie.
Attendance records broke. Merchandise sales spiked. She wasn't just playing the game. She was changing it. Her influence was so profound that WNBA teams began adjusting how they marketed and structured their franchises. The Fever, long considered a rebuilding team, suddenly became a marquee attraction. Other teams stepped up their games, both on the court and in the front office, in response to what Clark had created. And perhaps what's even more surprising is how quickly this transformation happened. In less than 1 season, she made the Fever a must-watch team. Her style of play was magnetic. Whether she was pulling up from the logo or threading an impossible pass, fans couldn't look away. Analysts started comparing her vision to Magic Johnson, her shooting range to Stephen Curry, and her fearlessness to Diana Taurasi. The bar was raised, not just for rookies, but for the entire league. Just when the season seemed unstoppable, adversity struck. In May 2025, Clark suffered a left quadriceps strain, sidelining her for at least 2 weeks. It was a gut punch to fans and the Fever alike. The timing couldn't have been worse. She was averaging 19 points, 9.3 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. A potential MVP run was abruptly paused. But even from the bench, Clark's presence loomed large. She was constantly in huddles, coaching, motivating, and leading. It was a reminder that her value went beyond points and assists. She was the heartbeat of her team, even when sidelined. Despite the injury, Clark's rookie year will be remembered as one of the greatest ever. She ended the season with most assists in a single season, 337, most assists in a single game, 19, most 25-point, 10-assist games by a rookie, 6, most three-pointers made by a rookie, 122, and 2 triple-doubles in one season, first rookie to ever do it. And if that wasn't enough, she helped to lead the Fever to their first playoff berth since 2016, finishing the season with a 20-20 record. Awards soon followed. She was unanimously named WNBA Rookie of the Year. Time magazine featured her as Athlete of the Year. She graced the covers of national sports outlets and became a regular headline in mainstream media. In a sport historically overshadowed, Clark was the spotlight. More importantly, she inspired. Girls flooded youth leagues wearing her number. College stars cited her as motivation. She wasn't just an athlete, she was a movement. What makes Caitlin Clark so rare is that her impact is both tangible and intangible. On the stat sheet, she dominates. But off the court, she's redefining what success and visibility look like for women in sports. She's already influenced league policy discussions, increased NIL interest for college athletes, and drawn the attention of global brands eager to align with her story. Every game she plays is bigger than basketball. It's a cultural moment. The ripple effect goes even further. Players around the league have credited her for increasing the level of competition. The spotlight she commands forces everyone to step up, and that's exactly what's happening. Viewership is up, merchandise is flying off shelves, and suddenly, little girls across the country believe they can grow up to be just like Caitlin. That's the kind of influence you can't teach, you can only inspire. And perhaps most intriguingly, there's a sense that Clark is only scratching the surface. Her rookie year felt like the opening scene of a blockbuster saga. Fans are already speculating. Could she be the one to finally bring a championship to Indiana? Could she redefine what it means to be a franchise player in women's sports? The questions swirl because the possibilities seem endless. Her confidence is unshakable, her work ethic relentless, and her game evolving. With her rookie year now in the books, the future looks limitless. The injury may have paused her momentum, but it didn't stop it. She'll return stronger, wiser, and even more driven. For now, the league has taken notice. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a force of nature. A new era has begun, and she's leading the charge. Caitlin Clark's rookie season was more than impressive. It was generational. Her ability to dominate, inspire, and elevate the game marks the dawn of a new chapter in the WNBA. Whether you're a lifelong basketball fan or just tuning in, one thing is certain. The Caitlin Clark era is here, and it's only just getting started. If you think Caitlin Clark has already peaked, think again. What she's about to do next might be even more shocking. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a second of the journey, because the Caitlin Clark Show is just getting started.
I would say so, as Caitlin Clark and Flau'jae Johnson have a little fun. I think Flau'jae was going on her Instagram Live there.
I believe so.
Yeah. And Caitlin going over to Sophie Cunningham saying, "I'm sorry I didn't hit a bomb for you."
WNBA rookie Caitlin Clark made a surprising 10-word statement about UConn star Paige Bueckers, sparking excitement as Bueckers reportedly plans to declare for the 2025 WNBA draft. "She's always been able to go up against the best," Clark said about Bueckers, a statement that carries immense weight coming from the player who shattered NCAA scoring records and transformed the landscape of women's basketball. Is to be selected first overall in the upcoming draft, following the same path Clark blazed just 1 year ago. This public praise from Clark directly addresses a concern that has reportedly haunted Bueckers for years: the fear of being overshadowed and forgotten amid the explosive rise of other stars in women's basketball. Despite being one of the most electrifying talents in the college game and the only player across the NBA, WNBA, and college basketball with a 50-40-90 shooting split this season, Bueckers hasn't generated the same media frenzy that surrounded Clark during her final season at Iowa. The timing of Clark's comments is particularly significant as they come while Buechers is leading UConn on a dominant NCAA tournament run. The 23-year-old guard just delivered a career-high 40-point performance in the Huskies' 82-59 Elite Eight victory over Oklahoma, further cementing her status as one of the game's elite players. Yet even with these extraordinary achievements, the spotlight hasn't shone as brightly on Buechers as it did on Clark last year. Part of this difference might come from Buechers' strong support for more media coverage of black women in sports. When she won College Athlete of the Year at the 2021 ESPYs, Buechers used her platform to talk about how black women athletes don't get enough attention. She said, "With the spotlight I have now as a white woman leading a black-led sport, I want to highlight black women. They don't get the media coverage they deserve. Their value is clear."
Media coverage is important for the game. I think it grows the game. I know freshman year I was like the media darling. Everybody was like focused on me and what I did at UConn my freshman year. But I think it's more important for the game to share the spotlight, to grow the game and show all the stars of college basketball and not just focus on one particular player, whether it be me, Caitlin, Juju, Angel. I mean, there's so many names in college basketball now that are huge, that are stars, that deserve credit. And I think it's not my job, but the media can do a better job of just making sure everybody gets love.
This courageous stance appears to have altered how certain audiences viewed her. As former NBA player Eaton Thomas noted in The Guardian, while Black America cheered Buechers, mainstream white America, a demographic that once saw her as a media darling, wasn't as loud about her anymore. By publicly championing Buechers' talent and resilience, Clark is effectively extending a hand across this divide and acknowledging her peers' extraordinary abilities. Clark's admiration for Buechers runs deeper than just her on-court skills. Her game is just so smooth, she's fun to watch, she moves effortlessly out there like it's just so natural, Clark elaborated. Then she additionally works really hard at it. Paige has always been one of the most dominant players. That has never changed. What makes Clark's praise particularly meaningful is her acknowledgement of Buechers' journey through adversity. After suffering a torn ACL that wiped out her entire 2022-23 season, many questioned whether Buechers would ever return to her pre-injury form. Clark directly addressed this challenge. The coolest thing about Paige is how resilient she is. Obviously, she's kind of been dealt a tough hand. The way she carries herself on and off the court, the way she works hard.
Like Hannah said, like Gabby Marshall just comes up with big defensive plays all the time. Like you see it time and time again for us, and she doesn't get enough credit for what she does. She guards one of the best players in the country, and really, challenges her quite a bit. Paige had a great game. I thought Gabby just played great defense on her, even when Paige made some tough baskets. Gabby just responded and kept going up there and guarding her. So I'm really proud of her, and I'm proud of our group for just being able to flip the page and move on to the next play.
The relationship between these two transcendent talents stretches back to their middle school days, giving Clark a unique perspective on Buechers' character and work ethic. None of that has changed since I've known her since she was in middle school. She's always worked that same way. She's always had that fire. She's always been a great leader, Clark revealed, providing a glimpse into their shared history that few knew existed. As Buechers prepares to leap to the professional ranks, questions swirl about her preferred destination. ESPN has reported that she would rather join the Los Angeles Sparks than the Dallas Wings, who currently hold the top draft pick. This adds another layer of intrigue to her impending decision, though Buechers herself remains focused on UConn's current NCAA tournament run. Everybody at this point of the season is trying to keep winning, to win a national title and keep the season going as long as possible. Everybody has the same goal, Buechers said recently. Whether your season is ending or your career is ending, you want to stay in one game at a time, one practice at a time, one possession at a time, and just focus on that and maximizing that, and not getting too caught up in the future. This laser focus on the present while acknowledging her imminent departure from UConn demonstrates the maturity that has defined Buechers' collegiate career. But you do know in the back of your mind that every possession counts. And the potential arrival of Buechers in the WNBA next season sets up a fascinating new chapter in women's basketball. The league has already experienced unprecedented growth following Clark's entry, with skyrocketing attendance figures and television ratings. Adding another transcendent talent like Buchers could accelerate this momentum even further, especially if the two find themselves as rivals on competing teams. Their contrasting styles would make for compelling matchups. Clark with her logo-range three-pointers and flashy passing versus Buchers' smooth mid-range game and exceptional efficiency. While they've faced off twice during their college careers, their meetings as professionals would take place on a much larger stage with significantly higher stakes. Clark's public endorsement of Buchers' abilities could be seen as a strategic move as well. By acknowledging Buchers as a peer worthy of respect rather than positioning herself as the singular face of women's basketball, Clark is helping to build a narrative of multiple stars elevating the sport together, a rising tide that lifts all boats. This approach aligns with Becker's own philosophy about growing the game. Everybody was focused on me my freshman year, Buchers has previously stated. But it's more important to grow the game by sharing the spotlight and showing all the stars of college basketball. Clark's comments effectively do just that, distributing attention to another deserving star rather than hoarding it for herself. What do you think about Caitlin Clark's comments regarding Paige Buchers? Is this the beginning of a legendary WNBA rivalry, or will they become allies in the continued growth of women's basketball? And how will Buchers' potential selection as the first overall pick impact her professional trajectory compared to Clark's? The women's basketball landscape is evolving rapidly, and these two extraordinary talents are at the forefront of this exciting new era.
USC superstar Juju Watkins, as they were up early on Mississippi State on the way to a big win. This is the dreaded non-contact. Right knee buckles.
WNBA rookie Caitlin Clark shared a heartfelt message of support for USC star Juju Watkins, who suffered a torn ACL during Monday night's NCAA tournament second-round game against Mississippi State. The news has left the basketball world stunned. No one is expected. The devastating moment occurred with 4 minutes 43 seconds remaining in the first quarter of USC's Regional 4 matchup against Mississippi State. Watkins, driving to the basket with her trademark explosiveness, suddenly lost her footing and collapsed to the court in obvious pain. The 19-year-old sophomore immediately clutched her leg in agony before ultimately being carried off the floor, leaving a stunned silence across the arena as fans feared the worst.
Right. What I can share with you is that there were a lot of people on staff here that kind of came out of the stands, team doctors, medical personnel, who jumped into quick action with Juju Watkins. I am told that they do not have an MRI machine here, which would do further imaging on that knee. They can do, static ligament tests to see if there's some damage, but they can't do the MRI here. So they did wheel her out. We saw her go out in a wheelchair, wheeled out of the building. They will take her to a Keck Medical Center.
USC later confirmed everyone's worst fears with the diagnosis of a torn ACL, abruptly ending Watkins' remarkable season. Before the injury, the two-time unanimous first-team All-American had been averaging an incredible 23.9 points, 6.8 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 2.2 steals per game while leading the Trojans to a commanding 33 record and a number 1 seed in the tournament. Despite losing their star player early, USC managed to regroup and secure a convincing 96-59 victory to advance to the Sweet 16. Sending all my thoughts and prayers to Juju. Kid will come back stronger than ever, Clark wrote on her X account Tuesday afternoon. A simple yet profound statement that speaks volumes about the respect between these two generational talents. The Indiana Fever Guard's heartfelt message comes at a moment when the entire sports world is processing the shocking injury to one of college basketball's brightest stars. What makes Clark's message particularly meaningful is the unique connection between these two exceptional athletes. As Clark completed her record-breaking career at Iowa last season and transitioned to the WNBA, Watkins emerged as women's college basketball's new transcendent star, the torchbearer for a sport experiencing unprecedented popularity. Many observers had identified Watkins as the most likely challenger to eventually break Clark's all-time NCAA scoring record, setting up what could have been an intriguing historical narrative over the next few years. USC head coach Lindsey Gottlieb addressed the injury during ESPN's live broadcast with remarkable composure. "She's getting seen by our great medical team. We have a group and a fan base, and a team that's going to have her back no matter what," Gottlieb said. "Juju is the toughest kid I know, and she's going to be good one way or another." This message of strength was reflected in Gottlieb's words, as she assured Watkins that she would come back stronger. Let's see what Gottlieb said.
Other than the statement that was put out at halftime, that she's getting incredible medical care from our, Keck Medicine and the people at USC and our trainers and doctors. So players don't have any update either as well. So just respectfully, I'd ask, to ask them something that they don't know. But I'm feeling a lot of emotions, obviously. But the biggest one is pride. What a performance.
Clark's gesture didn't stand alone, as other basketball luminaries also reached out with supportive messages. NBA Hall of Fame point guard Magic Johnson and Clark's Indiana Fever teammate Aaliyah Boston were among the notable names sending well wishes to Watkins, highlighting the widespread respect the young Trojan has earned throughout the basketball world in just 2 collegiate seasons. The timing of this injury makes it particularly cruel. Watkins was just hitting her stride in this year's March Madness tournament, seemingly poised to lead USC on a deep run as a number 1 seed. For USC fans and basketball enthusiasts in general, seeing such a dynamic talent sidelined at this pivotal moment has been described as deflating by numerous analysts and commentators.